Start by taking a few moments to connect with your breath. You can focus on the coolness of the air as you inhale and it passes by your nostrils or your mouth. The warmth of the air as you exhale. You can focus on the rhythm of your breath, the rate at which your body rises or falls with every inhale and exhale. Maybe notice where your breath is stopping today. If it's stopping in your throat, in your chest, if it's getting down into your belly. Maybe take 3 deep breaths, breathing as deeply and as fully as you possibly can. You're going to fill your belly with air. Then start to connect with your body. Notice any feeling or any emotional sensation in your body. And ask yourself the question, where do I feel the day? Where am I feeling the weight of the day today? Now start to think of something that you would like to be different in your life. Something that could be going better. Could be in any area of your life. Can be something you actually want to physically change, or an attitude, a different way to approach something. It's just something that you'd like to do something about, but you haven't made it happen yet. Maybe you're a bit hesitant or afraid to do it. Try not to think too much about it. Just go with whatever comes up for you naturally. Now picture a situation where you actually have the opportunity to address that change, where you have the opportunity to live it out and make that change happen. Whether you're about to pick up the phone, or send an email, or go to start a conversation with someone, whatever action or communication would be required to get the ball rolling. Perhaps it's a situation that's come up in the past, or maybe it's just how you imagine it playing out when the time comes. Either way, start to picture that situation in as much detail as possible and notice how it feels. Notice the desire in you to see this situation end differently than it has in the past. But now start to also notice any hesitation or fear you have coming up as well. I'd like you to really start to connect with that feeling of hesitation or fear in your body. Try to feel where that feeling is in your body. Even take a hand and actually place it on that spot in your body. helping you stay connected with that feeling of fear or hesitation. When fear is involved, you'll also start to notice a negative voice or negative self-talk that starts to show up in your mind. The purpose of this voice is to keep you from doing anything that could cause conflict, that could cause others to say something negative about you. Essentially, this voice is trying to keep you in your comfort zone. Now, with the situation that you'd like to change in mind and connected with that feeling of fear or hesitation, I'd like you to ask yourself the following. What is the negative voice in my head saying about me in this situation as I consider making this change? That voice may be saying something like, "You're going to fail. You're not smart enough to do that. They don't like you. They're going to hate you." Taking a few moments, really start to pay attention to what your voice is saying about you. Now that you likely have a line or saying from that negative voice in mind, I'd like you to just put it aside. Just let go of it for now and ask yourself the question, what is that negative voice in my head really saying about me? Now that you have that line or saying in mind, again, just put it aside. Let go of it for now. And ask yourself the question again. What is that negative voice in my head really, really saying about me? It may be the same thing, or it may be something different. That line or saying that brings up the strongest emotional response in your body is likely the one that's truly, deeply there and stopping you. If you need to, pause the video and continue to sit with this feeling and that voice in your head until you find the line, one of those negative things that it's saying that truly, sincerely strikes a chord with you. Once you feel that you've identified that line or saying that your negative voice always says to you, take a few moments to notice how strong a hold it has on you. Notice how strong it feels in your body, how debilitating it can feel, but how clearly present within you that voice is now that you notice it. With that, Billy Anderson, founder of the Courage Crusade, has a few words to share with you as you sit with this feeling, with this awareness of that inner voice.
Everyone has this voice. We are usually just embarrassed to talk about it. This voice is actually a good thing. When you feel that fear or hesitation come up and you notice that voice, it signifies an opportunity to push yourself and experience something new, rather than being held back by that voice. What this voice is saying to you is actually what you're most afraid other people will think of you. It is important to know this voice isn't you. It's not even reality. This voice is the result of evolution telling us to play it safe, because for thousands of years you died unless you played it as safe as possible. But now is your chance to be more than this voice, to not let it limit you being your best, most awesome self. Now that you know it's here, you have the opportunity to notice it, acknowledge it, and push through it.
Now, begin to picture the same situation as earlier, where you actually have the opportunity to address the change you want to see in your life, where you have the opportunity to make it happen. Picture everything you can about that situation. Picture where you might be, what you might say, what you might do. Notice any fear or hesitation that comes up, and the negative thoughts associated with it. But this time, begin to picture how you might push through it. Picture yourself noticing and acknowledging that feeling of fear or hesitation and that negative voice coming up. But also picture yourself ignoring it. Picture yourself being afraid, but moving ahead and doing it anyway. And then start to picture the positive outcomes that come from that. Imagine how things might change as a result of you pushing through, of you moving ahead. Imagine how life might be if that change you want actually happened. Picture in detail everything you can about how life might be after that change. Now notice the feeling in your body. Notice how that positive outcome feels. As we finish the meditation, I'd like you to ask yourself the question, what do I now know? What have I learned from this experience? You can continue to consider the answer to that question as you hear the chime of the meditation bells. And at the end of the third bell, you can open your eyes and come back to the room.